We'll go with last fall then. We'll go with it. Nathan, you got enough time? We're going to try and switch over to a little bit of college football, put this thing to bed. I mentioned it before how national champions are getting Big Macs at the White House, but if you got a little bit of time, we're going to jump into some college football, put it to bed, and UGA's roster kind of coming up this next season, this next year, especially after these juniors declaring for the draft. And also the big departure of the former 5-star quarterback Justin Fields, and then also all the coaching changes. At the moment, though, give one word that you're thinking that's to describe UGA, the status of the football program here.
This word will have
be nice. Be nice.
Question mark at the end.
Okay.
It is elite. Question mark.
I was going to say that. Oh, my gosh, Colin.
If you're elite.
The Joe Flacco.
That's right. This is a much more valid question, though.
Yeah.
If Georgia is an elite program right now, these departures won't matter that much in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
But if they're just good, you could see Georgia go 9-3 next year. That's the difference between the Alabamas and everyone else, the Alabamas and the Clemsons and everyone else.
Yeah, Ed. Okay, well, you took my elite word, but for me, what that mainly circles back to is the departure of Jim Chaney. These powerhouses, the Alabamas, Clemsons, in football, they'll lose some big players to the draft. I don't know that any of them lost back-to-back 5-star quarterbacks out of transferring, but Jake Fromm, really highly touted recruit for Georgia right now. But Jim Chaney got a lot of heat from the fan base in general just about the offensive scheme. And I think that this year coming up, with James Coley coming in now, taking over full-time as the OC, we'll answer a lot of questions about the offense and about the players and, how will the playbook kind of be manipulated, because when James Coley was the offensive coordinator at Miami, a tight end was his leading receiver that year. Big tight end for Georgia, Isaac Nada, declares for the draft. So
that whole situation with the tight ends right now, that's the biggest question mark for me, on offense at least, with Chaney gone.
Yeah, I think defensively there's a lot of good recruits coming in. We'll see who the defensive coordinator is going to be, but Kirby Smart will have his hand in the defense and is pretty highly respected on that end. But Jim Chaney goes back to Tennessee. I think we're going to have a lot of questions answered about this offense, about the players, about Jake Fromm. He gets a lot of heat for just being kind of a game manager, system quarterback. We'll see what kind of, not leverage, but what kind of freedom he's given in the offense to make changes at the line of scrimmage. So I think this year is pretty pivotal in the sense of, like Colin said, do you want to be elite? Can the Bulldogs get over that hump? And we'll see what happens, but it's definitely been an interesting offseason.
Yeah, that OC job is not one I would want, for one. Because Jim Chaney, you see
I know I've been critical of Chaney at times, especially just with some of his play calling in the big situations. But just historically, the OC job has just been criticized.
You would
it's a tough spot to come into.
You would think Jim Chaney was Judas, and his offense averaged nearly 38 points per game this last year.
Yeah.
How much better do people expect it to be? That's my question. Is
win at LSU.
You don't show up at LSU, but I mean the offensive coordinator is the only issue there.
Just a quick thing on the Chaney thing. I was in the library yesterday, and that floor where you can ride on all the walls, all the comfortable chairs in there, and written on there was Jim Chaney made money off the Iraq War. If that doesn't say what people think.
I think that's a perfect encapsulation, Nathan. But I think Jim Chaney's a solid OC. I think people he did not do the job Brian Schottenheimer did. That was just disastrous in 2015. But I'm curious to see what James Coley can do. He was previously a play caller at Miami. There was mixed results.
Are you hopeful for him? Are you at least hopeful for him?
But yeah, Miami's program was just kind of not doing great as a whole when he was there. But he did have success working with the quarterback. Brad Kaya had early success in his career. So I think this is a really good move in terms of continuity for Jake Fromm. So I think Coley is a solid hire. I don't think he's going to be I don't think there's a ton of downside to the Coley hire.
Yeah.
I'm just
we'll
safe. See how much
it's
upside
safe.
there is. I do think
Very
it is
safe.
safe.
Yeah, you have to go with the guy in house.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that the thing with both Jim Chaney and now with Coley, the weapons are there, and that's not in question. The weapons are there. Sure, you lose Elijah Holyfield, but Zamir White is projected to come back healthy and basically be a brand new recruit because he hasn't played a snap for Georgia yet. DeAndre Swift's still there. Some other good offensive recruits are coming in. Yeah. So James Coley has the playmakers there.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest question what the fan base wants to see is how will he utilize them. And Colin, you made a good point. The offense averaged 38 a game last season. But I think a lot of people maybe got tired of it being repetitive or just knowing with Justin Fields and how he is different from Jake Fromm and trying to utilize a few different things. But the offense was still pretty good enough to win the SEC East, to lead 95+% of the SEC championship game, and then in the Sugar Bowl, a poor showing. But the weapons are there. The big thing is how you're going to use them, and I think you summed it all up with that word, elite, with a question mark at the end. This is going to be kind of a test because the elite programs bounce back. Nick Saban lost his entire offensive staff this year, but I don't think anybody's questioning where Alabama will be next season.
Yeah. All right, closing remarks for Nathan. You got anything else on this?
Go to class, so
you got to
students first.
Love it.
Student journalist.
Student journalist.
Absolutely. I don't know. I had all this time to think about what I was going to say, and I actually have nothing. So
higher, good, bad, grade, like you gave with the Freddie Kitchens.
Yeah, grade it, then go. Just give us a grade.
Grade it and go.
James Coley is OC. What's your grade?
On the Zell Miller scale, I think, since it's like not plus minus, I'll give him an A, but I think it's going to be an A minus.
It's like a 91.5-ish is what I'm sensing.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Nathan, for joining the show. Have a wonderful time at class.
Goodbye, Nathan. But
consumer economics or whatever it is, right?
There are two sides of the football.
Whatever's
so I don't think Georgia's biggest question is on offense this year.
Okay.
No.
I think cornerback is by far the biggest question mark on this team. 'Cause you're losing the guy who's maybe the best at the position in the entire country, DeAndre Baker, and you've just got not young guys there to fill in. These are talented guys. I thought Eric Stokes looked good at his time there. Tyson Campbell was a blue chip recruit. But, it's not going to be a seamless transition replacing DeAndre Baker. But if it is, then, that Georgia defense, I don't think we'll have many holes. So I think that front
it
seven
wasn't
is
a seamless transition
Right.
for replacing Roquan this year, and you
Right.
saw that effect. So,
Nowhere close,
Yeah, but, I think the secondary play, obviously he was the leader of the secondary, but I think that I don't think it'll be as big of a drop-off as you saw with Roquan right there leading the middle of the pack. But who's emerging, and while you're looking at this recruiting class, who are you excited to watch every Saturday and between the hedges?
The easy answer is Nolan Smith because he was the number one player in the 247 Sports Composite. I mean, the guy's just a freak, so I'll pick someone else.
Yeah.
I would say the guy I'm most interested in seeing is probably a guy that fills a need because maybe I'm just more interested in seeing because this guy maybe has a better chance of being on the field early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Dominic Blaylock, the wide receiver.
Yeah. Well, he lit it up in the Under Armour.
It did light it up, And I know maybe a lot of Georgia fans were disappointed in not getting Jaden Hazelwood. Yeah. But Dominic Blaylock is a stud, man. He doesn't have the flashy size that Hazelwood did. But that guy can just play. He's a great route runner. You can put him in the slot. He's versatile. He's got good hands. So I expect him to see the field some. Maybe he won't start. I know it's hard to break through as a freshman, especially maybe at receiver. There has been a long line there at Georgia, but maybe with the draft departures, that opens the door for him. So I'm interested to see what he can do.
Yeah, for me, it's not necessarily a new recruit coming in this year, but I want to see what Zamir White can do.
Right.
When he came in a year ago, he's a 5-star running back, very highly recruited, and a lot of people made Nick Chubb comparisons or whatever it may be, and then he tears his ACL, and he's had 2 ACL tears now, which is no minor injury, no minor procedure that requires a lot of rehab to bring it back strong and healthy enough to play at the highest level of college football. And so Zamir White, especially with the departure of Elijah Holyfield, I think is kind of put in place to take over as the power back, and with splitting carries with DeAndre Swift might take some of the pressure off, but that's tough. I want to know how he bounces back from those ACL injuries and if he can shape up to be what everyone is expecting.
Have y'all seen Zamir White's high school highlights?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That guy is a cyborg. If
Nobody
he
can
is
stop him.
anything close to what he was then, health-wise, he is going to be a big upgrade over Elijah Holyfield, not just a lateral move.
Do you think that's why Elijah declared, or do you think it was the whole situation surrounding Chaney?
I think Elijah Holyfield just wanted to go make money, and I'm not gonna fault anyone for that. I think he's gonna get drafted. I think he's a very good back. Me saying Zamir White could be an upgrade is no knock on Elijah Holyfield. He was really, really good this year. I was really impressed with him. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize how fast he was. Yeah, I just think Zamir is generational. He is when he was coming out of high school, he was considered maybe the best running back prospect of the last 3 or 4 years coming in. But so if it's hard to come back from 2 ACL tears, but if he's anything close, man, to what he was in high school, this guy is going to be he's going to be another face on the Mount Rushmore of RBU. This guy was an animal, so we'll see.
I guess I know what I'm